She shopped?
Hey everybody, it's Friday, and so it's Art Journal Day, and so that's what I'm here for. I don't know if I should just jump into it or if I should wait to see if there are people, because, right, you're saying that it doesn't necessarily show up.
I just got a notification right then, so I'm notified.
You're on notice. I know, like, some of the other ladies that are out there, independent shop owners that I watch, they wait until they have, oh yeah, the dancing woman. I don't know if I'm quite up for that, but they wait until they've got people, which for me, I'm like, I could be waiting a really long time.
Well, I think it's how many people we have right now.
It says here nobody.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wondering. Yeah. But then I know people watch these later, so maybe I shouldn't be wasting their time. What I am doing is peeling paint off of my stencils, which is probably not what you want to watch. So I'll change it. There's a baby doll. That baby doll. She's not a baby for one thing. She's a creepy doll, and she gets a lot of attention. A lot of attention. Let me just make sure that this is angled. Okay. And then let's turn some light on it. There we go. Oh, I am fighting a migraine. I do have the mic on today. Have you noticed it makes a difference? Have you actually listened? Okay. What we need to do is the double mic thing so that people can hear you, because I wonder if they can hear you chatting with me. All right, so yesterday I don't know if you caught my jelly printing, and I pulled 2 new stencils, and I was using these, and that just reminded me how much I like to use numbers and letters. So I pulled a couple of my favorites, including some numbers and letters, so that's what I'm going to work with today. I just put craftiness into, just to pull up the website, and it comes up. What's the meaning of craftiness? What is the meaning of craftiness? That's deep. Maybe that's worth exploring.
It's not using it in the way we use it. Definitions of craftiness.
Oh, sly.
Yeah. Shrewdness as demonstrated by being skilled in deception.
Oh, wait. Say that again?
Shrewdness. As demonstrated by being skilled in deception.
Oh, well, let's see how we can turn that into a positive.
Intelligence manifested by being astute.
Ah, there we go. Come to craftiness, where you can practice your astuteness.
What's the first time that happened?
That is really interesting. Maybe that's Google trying to expand its pull. All right. So I've just started with some molding paste, some golden molding paste in my new stencil. This is actually a quote. Let me not to the marriage of true minds attempt impediments? I don't know. It's Santa Ana season, so I can't read properly. That and the time change, just kicking my butt. And I had a moment the other day where I was like, it's already the middle of November. Just bizarro.
Who makes that stencil?
This is it's a crafter's workshop, and I feel like I could even tell you, it's TCW 737. Oh, I thought maybe they have the artist on there, but there's not like they do. So this was last week's, just to remind you. I wasn't sure I liked it, but I decided today that I do, so I'm going to leave it and instead play with some new imagery. This is a more modern font that I've got down right now. And then this is going down on paper, so that paper is going to be absorbent. What's going to be interesting is that this side has medium on the other side, and this side does not, so that might change how it reacts. This might be a little resistant because of that, because it's basically sealed on one side, whereas this is not, so it might, soak through. had a really fun time yesterday at the Fancy Florals class. I might do another version of that. Really like the Pink Fresh Studio stuff that's come in. Uh-oh. Sorry, I was waiting for that. There's nothing worse than like a really hot spell in November because everything dries out. All the stuff that was getting kind of damp and cool, weathery, is drying out and pulverizing. I don't know. I feel like it gets in the air more. Pulverizing. Yeah, all the stuff that's supposed to be like falling to the ground and doing its winter stuff is now instead floating around, especially in the winds. Just kills me. Just gonna add some more of this stuff. I needed to get it there. This stencil is one of Tim Holtz's cardboard stencils that came in his sort of latest stencil embellishment kit. It was actually a ideology element kit. Kind of cool. So it's already contaminated with a lot of paint, so it's a nice thick stencil on my page. I don't know if you can see how it's standing off like that. But it's a good one. It comes in a set of like 5 or 6 stencils, which if you seal with some paint can then last just like the plastic ones. The only time I damage mine is if I forget to pull it up right away and it sort of seals to the page, and then when I pull it up it separates because it is cardboard. But if you take care of them, they will last just as long as your other ones. And the cardboard stencils tend to come in sets, so they're a good value. Kind of like the sort of pink, green, yellow combination. It's one that I find that I pick up on sometimes. And right now, that was the set after Aladdin. This is the Distress Spray Stain. So the stain is different from the other one. What's the other one I'm thinking of? The oxides. The oxides have an opaque color to them. Oh, that one's not open. I don't know if I have one in front of me. I'm not working at my normal desk, so I just grabbed what was ever in front of me. It looks like I don't actually have an oxide ready to go. You know, there's a tin right there, the big tin, tall tin, that has some in there. Down and over, the silver, over one more, that next to, yep. Sorry, probably could have gotten up and get it myself. Thank you. All right, so guess what? I sell these tins here at the store, storage tins. And this one has all my Distress Oxide sprays. Oxides have a little bit of an opaqueness to them. So you can see that it has completely covered up the color that was underneath. They're still water soluble though, so I put them down, dry them up, and then spray something else on top of them and have that interact with it. Which is, you know, part of what I love about the spray. Ooh, I got myself. The spray mediums are fun that way. The way they interact and the way they interact with the texture I put down. And nice to see. Oop, I smell the burning. I'm burning it. So that's a translucent spray that I'm putting down, so it's going to interact with but not obscure the color that I just put down with the Tim Holtz. It is very warm here today too, so things are drying kind of quickly, which is nice. We're at no moisture count. No moisture at all in the environment. And it's windy. How is it down in Venice? Is it cool?
I wouldn't say cool. It's definitely kind of hot in the day.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice it this morning, but yesterday I would say.
You know it's bad when even Venice is suffering.
I wouldn't say we're suffering.
If you want to,
Where is it?
it's on the. It should be on the table or on the counter. Sorry, folks. We are a actual business, and so when the phone rings, we're supposed to answer it. We try to do this before we open, so we don't have customers that we, have to juggle. But yeah. All right, so I'm just spraying some color on. I'm using a fine art brayer right now. It's got a little bit of a rubbery grip to it, which I'm enjoying. Picking up some of that moisture in there too. Kind of fun. A little more of that green that I'm playing with. Let's okay. No, I do not want to optimize my internet speed.
That wasn't it.
That wasn't it?
No, it was a client, and I handled it.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you later. Customer client, student, all the different names.
Customer.
Patient.
Not yet. Not yet. If it's Diane, yes, I do have her lunchbox. Good. No, I have a lunchbox she left here. I found it under the table. So if she calls, the answer is yes. I kind of like how this molding paste is sitting on top. When it dries, though, it's going to be semi-opaque, so it won't stay white like this. But I'm going to remember that because I forget sometimes to just using white on top of my products or on my pages, top of all the products. So you can see how it's picked up some of this water soluble and it's infused with the color now because it's reactivated that medium underneath.
The pink, she says it reminds her of roses.
Aww. Very pretty. Someone was wearing rose perfume yesterday, and it took me a while to place. I was like, what's that floral smell? I realized it was rose perfume, which is just sort of nostalgic. It's a nostalgic smell for for me. So this is that whole thing that I like to do where I brayer on some color and it picks up some of that texture that's under there, maybe. Yeah, there's a good example. So you can see how it's pulled that texture back up out of the depths of the color that's on the page. I don't like that pink though. Went the wrong direction. It's bougainvillea, paper artsy bougainvillea. All right, I'm gonna throw some ice down. I actually pulled this color recently. This is the rose. Yep, ice color from Seth Apter. Seth Apter's a friend of the shop, shall we say. He's a good guy, known him a long time at this point, and he has done some stuff for us and with us. And if you don't know who he is, I suggest Googling him because he is awesome. Total sweetheart, lives in New York. Has been doing classes online, so dare I recommend checking out that because they're very reasonably priced and they're always available, so you can do his classes even if it's not live. But he's also he's got an in-person retreat, I think, in New Mexico that he planned, a million years ago like everybody else, and had to cancel. Now he has rescheduled it and added dates, so he is back on the circuit doing classes. So I recommend checking him out. That's how I met him, is at a retreat, and I really enjoyed it. He's a lot of the techniques that I use, he uses similar versions of, and I've learned some of these directly from him. So I suggest, checking him out. Say hi for me if you do. He's a nice guy. Anyway, I sell a bunch of his products. He's been developing these. He's got these dye ink sprays from Eyes Ink. He has this Eyes Ink Ice texture gel, basically. It's translucent. You can see through it. I don't know if you can see that on this work right now, but he also has some glitter and some texture pastes and stamps, lots of stamps and stencils. He's one of those hodgepodge artists, so like Dina Wakley is all Ranger, Tim Holtz is Ranger, Tonic Studio, Stampers Anonymous, and Sizzix. So Seth is more like that. He's got lines with a variety of companies. Stencil Girl, I've got a few of his Stencil Girl stencils, Image Obsession, Impression Obsession, IO stamps. I don't think he's with Stampers and Paper Artsy. He has Paper Artsy. That's his big one with the stamps, and his paints are Paper Artsy. These are the Paper Artsy paints. I love them. They're chalky, which is great. Here I'm going to show you something. This is me just putting paint straight down on my texture, and I'm going to drag it across. And again, it's going to work to highlight some of that texture because it's going to settle in the low points. And if I drag it while it's wet, they'll settle in the low points, and I can drag it off the high points. So you'll be able to see the color that's already on there on those high points. Hopefully that makes sense. Another way to pull that texture back through, claw it back up to all that color that we put down. And then you get this chalky finish, which if you want to do any writing or drawing on top of, can be really conducive to that. I'm liking this pink thing that's going on here. This is the Distress Oxide sprays. I'm just going to come in and see. Again, it's opaque, but because I have so much down on the page now that is acrylic, it's going to resist the liquid, and then you can see that now it's going to pool a little differently, and so it's not going to obscure as much because it's going to move around what I have on the page already and interact with it. You're going to see some of that previous texture and color coming up through it, hopefully. Getting caught up in watching paint dry. Sorry, got a little mesmerized there. I'm going to add a little more green of this bright green that I did earlier. I'm going to reestablish some of it on top of some of this that's down here. This green has a little bit of a yellow tone, so it's going to pick up some of that yellow. And the pink wasn't completely dry. Hope you can see what it's doing there. It's subtle, but it does pick up these this texture that's underneath. I like it. Get a lot. There, see that? There we go. See how that pulled that right up and out? Yeah. You can see where the paint was a little thick on the brayer, so it ended up on the page, and I don't mind that either. What to do next? I don't quite have the pink that I want in this eye zinc stuff, because that's kind of what I want to put down next. I have that one. Let's do this one. Some of these have been open a long time. They've been open since pre-COVID, so they're not always the freshest paints. This was the stencil. Oh, you know what? Where's the, there we go. This is my original stencil. I'm just going to go back to this. And, you know, if I wanted to be careful about it, I could actually choose the stencil portion and maybe actually put down the quote. I'm not, I just want the letters, you know, to be a little random, so I'm not doing that, but I could if I wanted. You can see it's muddied a little bit there. I'm not so worried about that though. This is that whole idea of all the layering. So what I was doing yesterday with the jelly prints, getting a lot of layers down on top of each other with all the text going different directions and stuff in different colors. I love what it does to the page. I think it needs a little more up here, but I'm getting close to thinking this is done. I like it. And have a color theme going on here. Let's see what happens if I do. Now what I wish I had was green. Yeah, I do. It just happens to be very sparkly. Oh, this is also something that happens. Yeah. have to resist the urge to use my teeth in moments like that because, yeah. No longer have young teeth that can deal with that.
Because it's the best tool, though.
Yeah, right. All right, so hopefully you can see what's happening there. Just adding a little bit of glitter, a little shine, bringing some of that green, and then I'm just going to scrape this a couple spots to have just a little, I've got it all over my fingers. Just to give a little glimmer. Kind of fun. Yeah, I think that's it. I like it. Filled in that little dead spot there. Something wasn't dry that I put my hand on, obviously. But because of the way I work, it doesn't really matter. Just it becomes part of the spread. This heat gun is making the 3D paste bubbles, so I think I may need to stop at this point and just let it dry. Let it dry, let it dry. See, I can sing.
You can sing.
I can't,
Should we
well,
sign up for a
I
class?
can't, I can't sing. I can sing physically, whether or not I'm good at it. Debatable.
You are as good as you
Debatable.
wanna
Debatable. All right, peoples, thank you for joining me today. Hope that inspired you. And don't forget to come back at 1 for our product reveal. Not only do I have products to reveal, but they're already in the system ready for you to buy. So that is an accomplishment right there.
Yay.
And something to be celebrated. And
Fodder Club today.
Fodder Club today at 3. Not quite sure what we're doing, but something fun. Always something fun. And the Vintage Handmade Market is this weekend on Saturday from 11 to 4.
No, Sunday.
I meant Sunday. A lot going on these days. Sunday, 11 to 4. I will be open. You can come in through the back door because it'll be in the back. But a lot of vintage and artisan stalls are planned. So hopefully that sounds fun. Yeah. You can always come into the shop just in general on Saturday from 12 to 5. All right. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.